Oh yeah, there's not much to see here. Wednesday night about 10 p.m. There's the U-Haul loaded up with all the games. We were going to take the pickup, but it's not running right. It scared me. So instead, we're taking the Hyundai. The Hyundai has hauled this many games at least 3 times before, so we're not too worried about having the horsepower to do it. So, boy, this ain't turning out for nothing. It's pretty dark here with just street lights, but that's a loaded U-Haul trailer. We'll show it again in the morning. Thanks for following along. Well, good morning, Josh Who TV followers. Here we are in Gillette, Wyoming at the Our Wyoming Life Air-BnB. Listening to the old hi-fi and helping out with the game room. You can rent this house, 3-bedroom house, sleep 6, fridge, freezer. Of course, it's just a house. You rent the house, pots and pans, dishes, dishwasher. It's all here ready for your stay. Like I said, there's leftover food people leave, trinkets and non-perishables. But town is it's 10 miles away. Yeah, you're surrounded by atmosphere here at the Our Wyoming Life Air-BnB. There's the next set that are going to be going to process. And then here's the Airbnb that you can rent with the games in the game room. You see my rig for towing them here. If you come around back, they have RV parking. I think they got 5 spots, and it's free. And of course, it's farm tours every morning, 8 a.m. And it's exit through the gift store. They have right across the street. The highway here cuts the ranch, cuts a big chunk of the ranch off. So we're over here on the steers and the bull side. And over there is the main ranch with all the cows. He's over there mixing up some feed right now because these cows, or these steers here behind me, are in a feed program to go to the processor in 120 days. And then they come back and they'll be for sale right there in that little store and online if you're a Patreon supporter. So $1 a month gets you the right to buy from them. And of course, this is a limited program. They're only sending 5 to 7 steers off to process, and plus they're trying to feed their community. So if you get a chance, come on up here and visit. It's absolutely beautiful up here. So if you're thinking about a vacation, and you sure need one, don't you? Come on out and visit. All right, here we are at the Our Wyoming Life Air-BnB, helping Mike out with his game room. Here is a 1968 United Delta Shuffle Alley. Just amazingly fun to play, especially with a group. Plays up to 6 players, has a couple of different variations of bowling on it, as well as regulation bowling, of course. So, of course, anytime you move one of these 1,000 miles, it needs a little love and attention, just like Gilbert's old hi-fi. Needed a little love and attention, but it sure creates a lot of atmosphere. This thing is just a beautiful piece. Of course, the turntable's fried, but that's okay. Radio is great atmosphere in the game room. We're here with all our tools, and we have a 1968 Bally Safari. The 1970 Honey. Williams Honey. Very fun game to play. We're just here tuning up and souping up and Putting a rubber kit, you can see the old rubbers here from Delta Queen. And they get memory to them and they just don't bounce as well, and then they start, especially the black ones, don't put black rings on your machine. When they start to perish, all that black gets all over the field, makes a mess. Don't care what color. See how those are even getting black on them? That's from these. So I don't recommend the black rings. White rings are best. You can see when they start to perish, the cracks are quite obvious. Then you know it's time to replace them. The kit is what, 40 bucks? And brings a whole new life to the machine. Look at that nice white rings. You can see the black ones still here in the middle. So just going through and giving the field a little clean and polish, replacing the rings, a couple of light bulbs, getting it ready for you to come play it. Like that, great game, fun game to play, you gotta come play it. And then right now with the Shuffle Alley, we have a lazy score reel, but only on player 2. The hundreds reel on player 2 is lazy. And oiled it up, there's no resistance there. It certainly is a fine working score reel. So then we go to the player up reel. And other than that, it was playing good. So we'll get some video of it when it's all put back together, and let you know how things are going.
An activity carried out on a farm or ranch that allows members of the general public for recreational, entertainment, or educational purposes to view or enjoy rural activities, including farming, ranching, historic, cultural, harvest your own activities, or natural activities and attractions. That's the actual definition of agro-tourism. For us, though, it means a whole new thing. And it's really been something that we've always preached since the very beginning, since coming to the farm and coming to the ranch, is that we want people to be able to experience what it's like to know where your food comes from. And there's no better way to do that than to visit yourself. Go to the farm store, meet Aaron and I and Carrie and Jeff, and put a face to your food. We're over here in the RV park, which is actually strategically located right next to our feedlot. And we've had a lot of people ask, why would you do that? Why would you put a feedlot right next door to your RV park? You're inviting people to come and stay on the ranch, and then you put them right here. And for us, again, it just comes down to knowing where your food comes from and actually getting to experience that. When you feel connected to your food, when you can look out your window and you can see these animals on the ranch and you know that they're taken care of and you know that they're fed well, it really does start to make a difference on how that food tastes and how important that food is to you. It's always surprising to me when we see people come and visit the ranch in the summertime and they come over here and they stand and they look at the feedlot and then they go across the road into the farm store and buy a T-bone. And they tell me that that's the best T-bone that they've ever had. And I always say it's probably not, but you feel a connection to it. And that's really hard to get at the grocery store. Our RV park currently is pretty much empty. We do have one of our first harvest hosters coming to the ranch today. We'll be parked in one of these spots, staying the night, visiting the farm store, doing all the fun things that you can do here on the ranch. From May until September, so from Memorial Day until Labor Day, we actually do a daily tour that takes place every single morning. We invite all of our guests to come over and take a look around. They get to feed a bottle calf, they get to hang out with the goats, get to do all the fun stuff. They get to, you know, walk through the gardens and see everything that's going on. And I feel that that's something that really helps connect people as well. We're over here at the Air-BnB, which is another part of our agro-tourism business. We're going to go in and take a look around. This is our Air-BnB. It's actually the original farmhouse on the ranch, and the original homestead is part of this building as well. In fact, the original homestead is what we're standing in right now, the dining room. This room right here was the original homestead house. And the reason we know that is because you can actually go up into the attic. The original roof line is there, along with wooden shingles and everything else. They just built onto it. You can also feel it as you walk around the house because there's little elevation changes that take place, and they're really hard to see. But when you're walking around, when you leave one room and head into the next, there's little tiny elevation changes that happen from this room. This room also, or well, this whole house, but this room specifically, also shows us the reach that Our Wyoming Life has had. This is what we call the game room, and it's pretty rare to an Airbnb. In fact, these are pretty rare machines, and these were actually loaned to us from a friend of ours down in Las Vegas who rebuilds machines. His name is Eric. You'll see him pop in and out occasionally. And he came up here and dropped off these machines. And a great way to show some of the history of the ranch, but also give people a chance to play some of these things that they may have never even seen in their entire lives. All of these machines work and they play. You remember this one from Pizza Hut, right? And they're a lot of fun. And you know what? It's something that you can't really find anywhere else. This bowling machine is super cool. The house also holds a whole lot of history for us as well. And I should probably go through one of these days and label some of the pictures that are in this house and that are hanging. This is a 1925 license plate that's original to the ranch, 1937 and 1935. Those were original to the ranch. We also have a really cool map over here. This is the original homestead map for our county and shows where every single homestead is located. Kind of hard to see with the reflection. We've got a Wyoming state map from the late 1800s in here. A whole bunch of 4-H steers that were purchased by my father-in-law Gilbert and Aaron's mom Rita. So that's really cool history as well. These books, these Old West books, I grew up with these books in my house. In fact, we didn't even have the whole collection. My dad had a couple of them, and I think Rita asked me one year what I wanted for Christmas, and I said, you know what would be cool is the Old West, the Time Life books. If you could find a collection of these, that would be super cool. And she managed to find them for me, and now they're over here for everybody to enjoy. This one's called The Ranchers. While it's not really historical, this is actually the Our Wyoming Life calendar that hangs in here. This is the month of April. The 24-hour live stream right here on the calendar. It's on the 29th of April. We're hoping that you can join us as well as we wrap up the 30 and 30 with the 24-hour live stream. The house itself is very cool. I've always liked this house. Here's a picture of Gilbert and Daisy. These were actually Gilbert's. A lot of the John Deere stuff in here was Gilbert's at one point, as he was a huge fan of John Deere. In fact, this whole room is the John Deere room. And the furniture in this room actually is antique furniture. This was in Gilbert's mom's house and was utilized there. So if you ever get a chance to stop by Northeast Wyoming, let's say you're going to Mount Rushmore or you're going to Yellowstone and you're going to be coming right by on I-90, I would encourage you to take a look at our website, ourwyominglife.com, or head to airbnb.com and see if there is availability. You can stay right here in this very house. You can be a part of the ranch, and you can see it all. And it's all right here. Thank you for hanging out with us today. I know it's a little bit of a short day, but the weather is not nice and it's not fun to work outside in. And I'm cleaning up the inside of the shop, getting ready for the 30 and 30 and trying to get all that kind of stuff done. So I'm still working, but I thought I'd bring you guys along for the most exciting parts of our day. We've got a guest coming into the Airbnb tomorrow. It is a subscriber, so I'm hoping to meet them and hang out a little bit. But that's it. That's a part of our lives that not many people get to see. We have probably maybe 100 or so guests every single year, and it's something that is, from what I've heard, is a very, very rewarding experience to stay on the ranch and shop at the farm store and do all the things. So thank you guys for hanging out with me once again. We've got more on the way from the 30 and 30. Like I said, the 29th is the beginning of the 24-hour live stream, but we've got videos daily all the way up until then. We've got a lot of farm work to do. Jeff and I have got to get a lot of that done. We're going to get you guys updates on all the calves, and we are now up to number 18 or 19 or something like that. So we're going to get you guys updated on all the calves coming up. More calving, farm work. We've got projects on the way, and it's all coming up right here on the 30 and 30 on Our Wyoming Life.